the esteemed Marcus Aurelius, that profoundly insightful Roman emperor and philosopher, once delivered a truth of enduring power. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. This singular statement frames a critical inquiry for the modern individual. Have you ever paused to truly wonder about the profound, long-term value, or even the essential futility of the endless chase after romantic partners? In our current era, a saturated landscape of relentless dating applications, perpetually scrolling social media feeds, and ubiquitous digital contact, it is all too easy to become completely ensnared in the belief that one must ceaselessly pursue and strive for external validation, fleeting attention, and the transient emotional high of a new love. Yet, what if an entirely different, counterintuitive, and ultimately far more intelligent way of thinking were possible? What if I were to reveal an ancient, time-tested perspective that promises deeper fulfillment and greater serenity? Ponder this pivotal, liberating thought. Imagine a state where your foundational happiness is self-sourced, entirely independent of the urgent need for someone else's presence, approval, or affection to stabilize your mood or confirm your worth. This is the very essence, the guiding principle of Stoicism, a philosophy originating in antiquity, yet possessing an undeniable, powerful, and deeply intelligent relevance today. Stoicism does not merely suggest, but demands that you focus your entire energy, your formidable will, and your deep intellectual capacity on constructing a robust, unassailable core of inner strength and self-sufficiency, effectively rendering you independent of the constant, wearying cycle of needing external people or circumstances to make you feel good. Let us meticulously delve deeper into the nuanced, life-altering implications of this profound idea. Stoicism is emphatically not a passive philosophy, simply centered on resigned acceptance. It is a dynamic, actionable discipline focused on the deliberate and conscious shaping of your own happiness and fundamental well-being. It insists on the critical, undeniable recognition that genuine, lasting fulfillment originates solely from within, from your character, your mind, and your disciplined actions, rather than being derived from precarious external sources, such as the often volatile dynamics of romantic relationships. When you choose to chase after women, or any external object of desire, you are, by your own volition, essentially and recklessly, placing the keys to your happiness into someone else's custody. You become wholly reliant on their presence, their validation, and their sustained interest to affirm your inherent worth and to feel completely whole. But consider the inevitable vulnerability of this dependency. What truly remains when that vital external validation inevitably fades, or when the relationship, as virtually all things must, ultimately ends? The harsh reality is that you are left feeling hollow, profoundly empty, and fundamentally incomplete, immediately driven to frantically search for the very next person, the next conquest to temporarily fill that gaping void. The genius of Stoicism lies in its teaching. It provides the essential wisdom to irrevocably break free from this debilitating cycle of emotional dependency and locate an authentic, self-generated fulfillment within ourselves. It is fundamentally about the rigorous, daily cultivation of indomitable inner strength and profound emotional resilience, ensuring that your intrinsic happiness is never, under any circumstances, to be made contingent upon anyone else's transient approval, temporary affection, or fleeting presence. Therefore, instead of spending your precious life energy in the exhaustive chase after romantic partners, Stoicism forcefully redirects that energy inward, encouraging us to concentrate with laser focus on a single, vital objective: becoming the absolute best version of ourselves. This involves the dedicated development of latent talents, the passionate pursuit of meaningful goals, and the commitment to live every day with unwavering virtue and integrity. Yet, the logical question arises: what of the natural, deeply human desire for love, companionship, and intimacy. Is it not inherent to our nature? Of course it is. Stoicism is not advocating for a life of monastic isolation or strict celibacy. Instead, it guides us to profoundly recalibrate our approach to relationships. It encourages us to enter into any connection from a position of absolute strength and robust self-sufficiency, rather than weakness or urgent need. The objective shifts from desperately seeking external validation or attempting to fill an inner void to purposefully forming authentic, meaningful connections based entirely on mutual respect, shared, deep values, and genuine, congruent character. Furthermore, Stoicism acts as a profound, persistent reminder of the inevitable impermanence of all things. And this includes the transient, changing nature of relationships. Nothing in life is definitively guaranteed, and the very act of clinging too tightly to a person, an outcome, or a circumstance is the wellspring of all unnecessary suffering. By actively embracing the core Stoic principle of acceptance, we cultivate the necessary mental flexibility to deeply appreciate the richness of the present moment, the time we have, and simultaneously practice the essential mental discipline of letting go of rigid expectations for the future. In essence, Stoicism offers an immensely powerful and liberating alternative to the wearying, endless pursuit of romantic validation and fleeting conquests. It powerfully instructs us to anchor our profoundest fulfillment within ourselves, rather than anchoring it precariously to any external source. It strongly encourages us to approach all potential relationships from a place of unassailable strength and self-possessed integrity, completely replacing the draining feelings of neediness or desperation. Therefore, the very next time you feel the powerful, almost reflexive temptation to chase after a woman or anyone else, let the clear, resonating wisdom of Stoicism serve as your conscious mental break. True, lasting happiness radiates from within. Let's delve into a deeper, more refined level of relational understanding. The Stoic perspective compels us to transcend superficiality. What if you could deliberately cultivate relationships that extend far, far beyond the shallow metrics of someone's physical appearance or their current social popularity? Stoicism teaches us to deliberately allocate our most valuable attention and judgment toward what a person is truly like on the inside. Their fundamental personality, their deeply held beliefs, their observable character, and, most importantly, the reliable way they consistently treat others. Imagine the profound, stabilizing quality of being authentically connected with a partner who embodies kindness, deep understanding, and genuinely shares your essential interests and highest values. Wouldn't such a connection, built on substance, possess an inherently more special and significantly more meaningful, enduring quality? Instead of the superficial, exhausting pursuit driven purely by external appearance or temporary social status, Stoicism directs us to an entirely different, richer pursuit: the focused search for genuine connections with individuals who wholeheartedly and reliably care about us for the person we truly are at our core. There is also the profound, inescapable idea of things not lasting forever. Stoicism insists that we must wholeheartedly accept the fundamental metaphysical truth that nothing, absolutely nothing, stays precisely the same in perpetuity. And this truth applies with unyielding force to all human relationships. Instead of allowing yourself to be consumed by anxious worrying about making things last forever, a self-defeating and impossible goal, Stoicism encourages a liberating shift. What if we could simply and mindfully enjoy, with total presence, the time we are gifted to have together? Crucially, what about the pursuit of becoming a better, more virtuous person? Personal growth is a central, non-negotiable tenet of Stoicism. Instead of wasting vast amounts of time and energy solely thinking about external relationships, Stoicism requires us to simultaneously and seriously consider how we can become demonstrably better people. It is an active process of looking inward and rigorously asking the hard questions. What concrete actions can I take right now to improve myself and effectively reach my highest goals? Picture the powerful energy shift. Rather than pouring all your valuable time into desperately trying to please others or relentlessly seeking their approval, what if you channeled that same potent energy into the singular, self-affirming task of becoming the best version of yourself? Consider the specific objectives you genuinely wish to achieve and the particular, admirable person you aspire to become. Perhaps it involves mastering a complex new skill, launching into a long, deferred passion project, or simply committing to being consistently kinder and more just to others. Stoicism is the blueprint that encourages us to meticulously set goals and work toward them with focused determination and clear purpose. By making self-improvement the highest priority, we achieve a dual victory. We not only become happier and far more fulfilled individuals, but we also inherently become better, more stable, and more desirable partners in any relationship we choose to have. Therefore, the redirection is clear. Instead of perpetually chasing after someone else's approval, let us commit to focusing on the essential task of becoming the kind of person we are profoundly proud to be. Lastly, think deeply about the emotional lightness that accompanies a successful reduction of attachment to external outcomes. Stoicism thoughtfully suggests that while it remains critically important to deeply care about doing what is right and acting virtuously, it is equally vital not to become overly and rigidly attached to specific, predetermined external results. Imagine the profound, calming freedom that comes from learning to finally let go of our deeply ingrained, constant need for things to unfold exactly as we desire them to. Instead of being consumed and immobilized by anxiety or crushing disappointment, when circumstances deviate from our plans, what if we could wholeheartedly embrace an authentic sense of freedom and complete acceptance? Consider any scenario where you have invested your heart, soul, and considerable effort, be it a complex project, a meaningful relationship, or a demanding personal goal. Stoicism issues a powerful invitation: give your absolute best, most virtuous effort, while simultaneously maintaining the profound, calming understanding that the final result is never entirely within your complete control. By consciously releasing our frantic, rigid attachment to specific outcomes, we instantly alleviate immense, unnecessary stress and reliably find a deep, quiet peace in the profound knowledge that we have successfully done our virtuous part. Think about the sheer relief of no longer feeling continuously burdened by the relentless, suffocating pressure of needing everything to proceed perfectly. What if we could cultivate a deep, quiet trust in the natural, unpredictable flow of life, truly knowing that things will sometimes unfold differently than meticulously planned, and that this outcome is, fundamentally, okay? Stoicism instructs us to proactively cultivate a mindset defined by true flexibility and robust resilience, which grants us the indispensable capacity to adapt to whatever life throws our way with genuine grace and quiet dignity. Stoicism imparts the invaluable, liberating lesson of openly embracing life's inherent uncertainties without ever losing sight of our core values and highest principles. By successfully practicing this kind of psychological detachment, we effectively free ourselves from the vice-like grip of fear and emotional attachment, a liberation that immediately opens us up to an infinitely greater, more self-sustaining sense of peace and deep contentment. So, in summation, instead of perpetually needing things to conform exactly to our plan, let us finally explore and harness the immense, liberating power of letting go and consciously placing our trust in the profound, often mysterious wisdom of the universe. Ultimately, the next time the almost instinctive, powerful urge tempts you to chase after a woman or any external source of validation, let the profound, clear, and stabilizing wisdom of Stoicism become your compass. True Foundational happiness originates exclusively from within, and the most meaningful, fulfilling relationships are not desperate rescues, but solid structures built securely on the foundation of shared values, mutual respect, and the present, appreciative moment of the time you are given.